Hello and welcome back to your mat. I am coming to you from our family's backyard, so we're still visiting them and enjoying some quality time. So we're going to get started today. You won't need any props for today's class. Today's class is all about let's love your body. So this could be challenging for a lot of us, for some of us. So we're going to work on that today and move through some poses. So today's quote is by Laura E. Burns. Yoga is meant to foster a deeper connection and a more loving relationship with your body. Let's say that one more time. Yoga is meant to foster a deeper connection and a more loving relationship with your body. So remember that throughout today's class. Sorry, that butterfly just buzzed me there. I don't know if you have to see that or not. Anyways, so let's develop a loving relationship with our body, and this is easier said than done for some of us. So we're going to start today seated however you'd like. You can be cross-legged, you can sit on your heels, you could sit with one leg out the other side, whatever you want to do. You decide how you want to sit for a moment because we're just going to arrive. And I want you to notice how you feel in this moment, especially given what I told you the topic of the class was. What did that bring up for you? You can close your eyes if you like. There's no judgment here. How are you feeling in this moment before we start this class? So just take a moment here to arrive. And then I want you, and you can do this either out loud or to yourself, depends on who's around you and if you want anyone to hear you. But I want you to name one thing that you love about your body and why. So it doesn't necessarily have to be a body part, but it could be. Or what is one thing that you love about your body and why would that be? So I'm going to give you just a moment to think about that. And this can be hard. We can always come up with a list of things we don't like. But what is it that you love about your body? Because I think most of us, if we really dig deep, there's at least one thing. So think about that. I'll give you an example for myself. I love my legs. I love my legs, not necessarily because of the way they look, although they're not too bad, I guess. It's really more about what they do for me. I love the fact that I can walk. My legs take me from place to place when there's some people who don't have that, they don't have that ability. So I feel very grateful and I love my legs and the fact that they're able to do what they're able to do. And they do it not looking too bad. There's mine. So sometimes it's hard to say something good, but let's come up with something good. We're going to get started very simply, seated. So however you are, go ahead and come to a seat. And we're going to open the arms out into a cactus shape. So here we are exposing the heart, exposing our chest, really opening ourselves up. And then I want you to literally give yourself a hug. So go ahead and bring your arms around and give yourself an embrace, a hug here. Okay, a really good one, like you would if you were going to give a hug to a loved one. And if you're not a hugger and that's not your thing, at least give yourself a little hug. So you're not hugging anybody else, it's just you. And then we're going to open back up. We're going to do that a few times. Open up into that cactus arms, really open in the chest, shine it bright. You can even look up. And then exhale, you can bring the arms the opposite one on top and give yourself a hug again. So just really embrace yourself. Embrace this wonderful, beautiful body that you have. We all have unique bodies that all do different things for us. Let's go ahead and do that a few more times. So sometimes we just need to give the body some love because when you think about if you didn't have a body, you wouldn't be able to do so many of the things you're able to do. And whether all of your body parts work as needed or some of them don't, it doesn't matter. Be happy with what you do have and what does work and what is working for you. So let's do a few more rounds of that. Nice hug in. Just give yourself a nice embrace. Maybe give yourself a little thank you, thanking your body for everything it does. So easy to be down on ourselves and not liking certain things about our body. We all have those things, but let's give ourselves a little gratitude. Give the body a thanks for everything it does. And then go ahead and release that down. We'll stop hugging ourselves for now. I'm sure if someone was walking by while you're doing that class, they might be thinking, what is your yoga teacher doing? Doing some body love. Just tell them that's what we're doing. Maybe give them a hug later. All right, from here, we're going to come into child's pose, but we're going to thread the needle in child's pose. So I'm sitting back on my heels. The side of your head may or may not come to the mat, and that's fine. So we're just going to thread that right arm underneath and stretch that left arm out. And the right side of your temple may come down, or it may not. You may be more upright, and that's fine. Again, we're not judging. We can't. We're supposed to be loving our body today, not saying why isn't able to go all the way to the ground. There's a variety of reasons. We all have a similar anatomy, but there are still differences, and there are things that some of us can do and others cannot, and that's just the way it is. So let's accept what we have and be grateful for that. Come on up, and now let's go over to the other side. So thread the needle, bring that left arm underneath, and again, you can bring your temple down, your left temple down if you like. I'm going to leave mine upright. But this is not about judging. It's so easy to see all of these photos and videos of people doing all these crazy, wild poses, and it's like, man, if only my body could do that. And we often forget what our bodies can do. So that's our big focus today. Breathe in here for a couple of rounds. And then go ahead and bring yourself back up. And then from here, we're going to do puppy pose. So puppy pose is also designed to kind of help open the chest a bit, open up through the shoulders and all that. So what we're going to do is come to all fours. And then you're going to step your hands out a big step in front of you. And you're just going to sink your chest and your forehead down to the mat, leaving your hips up here. So this is puppy pose. And I want you to think back to the body, the part of your body, or the thing that you love about your body from the beginning. How often have you said and thought about the thing that you do like about your body? I know we can all say we've thought about the things we don't like. How often do you think about what you do like? This is your opportunity. Another breath there. And then come all the way back up to all fours or all back on your seat, either one. And then from here, we're just going to stretch. I don't know if this is really a yoga pose, but we're just going to stretch the left leg out in front of us, straight on the mat. And we're going to sit up right here. So we're going to stay up on our knee. So our right knee is down. And our left foot, left leg is out in front of us. So, and I've also got my toes pointed up toward me, kind of flexing toward me to kind of help open the hamstrings a bit. We're not going to fold forward here. We're just going to stay upright. And you probably also, some of you may feel this in your quad. I certainly do on my right side. And then go ahead and bring that foot back. And now we're going to do the other side. So stretch that right foot out in front of you, flexing the toes towards you. We're not leaning forward. We're just going to stay more upright. So you might feel that in your left quad. You might feel that in your hamstrings. You may be thinking, oh, I wish I could do, and we're going to let that go today. So just think about, wow, look at what I'm able to do right now. This is great. And then go ahead and bring that foot back. And now you're going to tuck your toes. And you have two options here. So we're going to tuck the toes, and then we're going to come back. So my feet are close together. My heels are touching potentially, but my heels are not on the ground. So we're going to stay the heels off the ground. So you're in this low squat. And then we're going to twist. This is going to be a little bit of a balance challenge here. My knees are slightly open here too. And then we're going to twist to the right. If you would rather, you can leave your knees down and twist to the right. So you won't need the balance there, but you will feel that opening in your toes. So either way, you're getting a little something there. So you decide. I'm going to go on the toes here and try to balance and twist myself open to the right. So stretch that right arm out behind you, really stretching open, really feeling expansive and being happy and being grateful with your body that is able to do this. So everyone drop their knees down for a moment, untuck the toes. Let's just take a moment there before we go to the other side. So we're going to twist now to the left. So you decide if you want to be in that kind of that low squat with your heels off the ground or with your knees down and the toes tucked under. Either way, your toes will be tucked under, so you're going to feel a little something there. So come on up to whatever you want to do. And this time I'll go ahead and do it with my knees down to show you that variation. So my knees are down, and now I'm going to simply twist open to the left. Stretch that left arm way back behind you. Feeling it in the toes. I am grateful for the toes that we have. And release that, let that go, and go ahead and untuck those toes for a moment. Whew. That was a little intense on the toes, whether you were, depending on which variation you picked. So from here, we're going to stand up and do another little balance challenge here. So if you need to go near a wall, do that. Do what you need to do for your body today. But what we're going to do is we're going to bring that right knee into our chest. So we're balancing, find your point of focus. Bring your knee into your chest or thereabouts. Now open it up to the side, to the right. And now place that heel, your foot, on your leg and come into tree. And today I want you to take your hands and put them over your heart. Your big, beating, beautiful heart. It's inside of this beautiful body that allows us to live and move and enjoy this life that we're given. And while we're in this pose, hold that pose a little longer and think about what you like about your body. What was the thing you picked at the beginning of class? Come back to that. If you fall out, come back in. Release that. Okay, nicely done. Whether you fell out 3 times or fell out no times, doesn't matter. You did the pose, and that's what matters. We're going to do the other side now. Go to the left. So go ahead and hug that. Hug your left knee in. I'm going to try to find my point of focus before I do that, but go ahead and hug that left knee in when you feel steady. Open it up out to the left, again when you feel steady. And then bring that foot to your leg. And again, bring your hands to your heart. Feel the beating of your own heart. It's so easy to take this body for granted. But if you're like me, anytime you're ever sick or have an injury of some sort, you are suddenly even more grateful. You're like, oh, I can't wait to feel better again or to heal from this injury. So we do take our bodies for granted. Stay in a little bit longer. If you fall out, that's okay. Come back in, catch yourself, and drop the leg back down. Nicely done. Let's come and sit down now. From here, just want you to have your feet out wide as the mat and your hands behind you. And we're just going to open up the chest here. So really open. Instead of being closed off, let's open up. And then we're just going to windshield wiper the legs from side to side. And you may travel a bit on your mat when you do this. You might move some. That's okay. And your legs don't have to go all the way down, just to your degree that feels good in your body today. Remember, we always have to practice with the body that we have, not the one that we wish we had, not the one that we had 10 years ago, not the one that our best friend has, the one that we have. We all have unique attributes, and we have to be grateful for those. So let's go a couple more rounds there. And then go ahead and come all the way to seat here with your legs outstretched in front of you. And we're going to do a forward fold. And when we do this one, I want you to modify as you need to. So if you want your legs to be further out or closer together, you need your knees bent, whatever it is, you need to sit up on a cushion, go for that. Do what you need to do, but we're just going to simply fold over those legs. Whether your hands end up at your knees, the middle of your shins, or all the way to your toes, that is not what's important. What is important is we're releasing and letting go here. And now I'm going to ask you in this pose, in this moment, I want you to think about another thing that you love about your body. Now, some of you may have had a hard time with that first thing that you liked about your body, but I want you to think about something else. And again, this doesn't have to be a body part. It doesn't have to be, oh, I like my toes or I like my arms. It can be, what is something that you love about your body, something that maybe it does for you. It can be very simple. And I'm going to choose for my second one, and it's going to be a body part in this case, and it's going to be my feet. My feet, I love that I'm able to walk barefoot on a beach and feel the sand between my toes, or I can walk barefoot in the grass and feel the soft grass. Or I can wear my favorite sandals and have my toes exposed to the world. Or I can even paint my toenails. So that's the other part I love, I love my feet. What is yours? And why? And then come all the way back up. And now I'm going to walk you through Shavasana. So I'm not going to lie back, but you go ahead and lie back. But in this case, I want you to pick your favorite way of being in Shavasana. So it could be on your side, cradling your head. It could be on your back. It could be on your belly with your forehead between your hands. It could be with one of your knees out, whatever you want to do. And if you want to do one side and the other, then I will let you know when we're halfway through. So we're going to stay in Shavasana for 2 minutes, and I'll let you know at the halfway point when to switch if you want to do a half and half, if you've got a leg out, or if you want to be on one side or the other. So you decide. But I want you to lie back in Shavasana. I want you to think about the two things that you love about your body. And if you only could come up with one this time, that is okay. There's no judgment there. Concentrate on that one while you're in Shavasana. Whatever whatever way you decided to be in Shavasana. It turns out that gratitude goes a long way in our lives. It can really change our mindset. It can shift the mindset. So anytime you might be down about yourself, you don't like something about yourself, try to think of the things that are good and have gratitude for the things that are good. Because there is always something good. There's plenty of bad, but there's always good. For those of you that are on one side and you want to switch to the other, then go ahead. This is your chance to switch to the other. We'll be here for one more minute before we close out. I want you to breathe in and out through this pose, just at your own rhythm. Notice if it's shallow or deep. Notice if your body is calmer. Notice how you feel about yourself in this last moment here before we close out. How are you feeling right now after this class? Do you have a little bit more gratitude for your body? Are you thinking that now maybe you can focus on the good more than the bad? It's all right to have goals. It's all right to want to change things and make things better. But let's also not forget the good things that we love about ourselves. I'm going to end it here. You're welcome to stay in Shavasana for as long as you like. I hope that you enjoyed this class, and I hope that if anything, it just taught you just for this short amount of time to love your body. This is a wonderful body that we all have. It's great to have it. And it was great to have you here. Thanks for joining me.